Top 5 reasons why men cheat. Why is she talking about men and cheating? Great question. I figured that we would both give insight as to why men cheat. Well, not all men cheat. You have to know the reasons why they do, so you won't fall into the trap of blaming yourself. Behind every infidelity, there can be steps towards prevention and healing. Please know that this is not a justification or a free pass on allowing people to cheat. What this video is about is understanding the motivations for cheating. So, let's jump right in.
I was recently scoping out a social media page titled, "What's your biggest fear about marriage?" While sifting through the many negative comments about marriage and relationships in general, sad news indeed. One comment, though, stood out in particular. The poster said that her biggest fear was being cheated on again. That's certainly a valid fear, right? That makes sense. But what was really eye-opening was that she equated her ex's infidelity to her self-esteem. This wasn't my assumption either. She admitted to that fact on her post.
I'm gonna be honest, this guy is not an extension of her. Yes, being cheated on and lied to really sucks. I know. In my previous marriage, I was cheated on and while pregnant. Talk about dealing with hormones and the emotional toll that it takes. It definitely was a shock to my system. But here's the thing I learned. The other person's irresponsibility or reckless actions should not dictate my self-worth, and it shouldn't dictate yours.
Which brings me to my own story. I remember how crushed and devastated I felt when I was cheated on. I felt lonely and that my life was over. Deep down, I knew that it was pathetic, but the feeling of sadness was unbearable. But I had a little awakening inside me. It was like the Holy Spirit whispering to me, "Hey, don't do this to yourself. Just because you all are no longer together, should you ever allow any ex-girlfriend to validate your sense of worth. We will make mistakes. People will hurt us. We will hurt others. But at the end of the day, you and only you are responsible for your validation. You're not responsible for anybody else's. Trust me, I'm no saint. I broke some hearts along the way. I wouldn't be brutally honest if I didn't admit to that fact. I've had my share of not so proud moments. You see, this experience was the catalyst that drove me to do the hard but painful and necessary work. Working on me. That was the best gift that I gave to myself so that I could, years later, wholeheartedly be ready for marriage for the right reasons.
Yes, the work is absolutely necessary if you want to heal from your hurts and foolproof as closely as possible to not get cheated on again. Is it 100%? No. But as mentioned in another video, if you do not work on yourself, the chances of falling into the same type of relationship will continue. So ladies, stop being stupid by taking the guy back over and over again. You're not the problem. He is. And he and only he needs to work on himself. And please don't try to fix him either. Worry about you and your self-worth. I'm sorry, I digress.
No, that's perfectly fine. This is a good segue. Ladies and gentlemen, so here are the 5 reasons why men cheat.
Lack of emotional satisfaction. One of the key reasons that men cheat can be due to emotional dissatisfaction. If a man feels neglected, misunderstood, or not valued in the relationship, he may seek emotional connection elsewhere. Also, if the man feels disrespected or you're constantly nagging and putting him down, this could be another reason why he cheats. To avoid this, do the following. Communicate clearly and avoid those blanket generalizations like you always or you never. Men and women are not mind readers. If you don't tell us what we do, we can't fix it. Men are fixers.
Which reminds me, in one of my past relationships, I had an ex who would complain. And so what would I do? Go into Bob the Builder, fix it up mode. All she wanted was for me to just listen, not fix things. The second reason why men cheat, we're horny. In no way am I excusing this, but I'm laying it out. These are brutally honest truths. Men, we're visual. Women generally are more attuned to talking about their feelings. There's more relational there aspects. But why there's so many so-called gentlemen's clubs and fewer ones for women? This will be for another topic, but porn use among men is higher than for women. Although sadly, porn use for women is also increasing. Going back to the physical desire element, if the guy is a slave to his passions and hasn't muscled up on his self-control, guess what? No self-control equals no discipline, which equals greater chance of cheating.
But ladies, let's say you're a model or deemed the most beautiful woman in the world. This does not not guarantee that the guy you are with won't have the temptation to cheat. Again, this is not an excuse. I'm just laying out the truth as to why men cheat.
Great point. Sometimes that connection is purely physical, to get their 2 minutes of glory without the strings attached commitment. Hookup culture that some men want to avoid at all costs, being in a relationship. Notice that in all of this, it has nothing to do with you, but it has plenty to do with him.
Another reason men cheat, insecurity and the need for validation. Some men may cheat to boost their self-esteem. Infidelity to them can feel like affirmation of their attractiveness and desirability. We aren't saying to go overboard on your words of affirmation or go stroke their egos, but a good periodic check that doesn't border on desperate or clingy can look or something like this. Let's do a temperature check. On a scale of 1 to 10, how are you feeling in the relationship? And then vice versa. You don't like that idea? That's okay. Get creative. The bottom line is that it doesn't matter how you do a relationship check-in, but what does matter is that you do it and avoid the assumption where just because things seem fine doesn't always mean that they really are.
Great point. The fourth reason men cheat is that they are looking for the thrill of the chase or the newness, and also to get past the monotony, the staleness, sometimes boredom in the relationship. It's important to keep the spark alive in long-term relationships. So how do you do that? By listening and following to advice like the one here.
Another way to keep the relationship fresh is to go out with other couples, join meetup groups, think about fun things, legal of course, that you used to do as kids and go out and do them. Don't say, I'm too old for fill in the blank. This is just an excuse and a mental block that for some weird reason we became adults and we think to ourselves, being an adult, having maturity equals not having fun.
Boring. Well, in my alter ego YouTube persona, the comedic counselor, I have a scene where I tell the other character that grown-ups are really kids in disguise.
So, go to a park, check out the retro arcade on the opposite side of town, ride the roller coaster of dating, not the real ones, I don't like those, and have fun.
Facts. And the final reason men cheat, they have demons or addictions from their past that they haven't worked on. They lack what's called the soft skills of conflict resolution and having empathy. Instead of addressing issues head on, they might avoid confrontation, go hang out with the boys, or go to other unsavory places where they can forget about their problems instead of dealing with them.
In conclusion, infidelity is a very complex issue and it often hurts all parties involved. If you're dealing with this situation, remember to take care of your emotional well-being and seek professional help if needed. If you found this video helpful, please hit like and subscribe, but we also want to know if there was anything that we left out. Is there something that you would add? Comment below. Thanks for watching.
If you're enjoying our content, you need to check out our website in the link below.